So this is Cam Newton doing exactly what Carmelo Anthony had to do. He had to go out there publicly and say, no, I'm willing to be the sixth man. No, I'm willing to come off the bench. But also, this, athletes are also strategic and smart. Carmelo Anthony was also probably looking at situations like, yeah, I can get in this situation and still be Carmelo Anthony, right? Cam Newton's doing the same thing. Do you really think, let me pull up this list right now. Do you think Cam Newton really want to back up Aaron Rodgers? No. Why? Because it's Aaron Rodgers. You're not going to sniff the field unless it's an injury, which is a big if, right? Because injury is inevitable in the NFL. But, man, you're talking about a guy that's been hurt 3 times in his career. He pretty much plays all the time. You don't want to back up him. You don't want to back up Anthony Richardson. Why? Because he's the face of the franchise. He's you. He's the new Superman.
He'd be a rookie, though.
It don't matter.
Rookies have growing pains.
But yes, they do. But what's not going to happen is a team go out there and break their rookie. They're not going to go out there and say, here you go, Anthony Richardson. All right, then you have 3 bad games and they pull it away from you. Why? Because they're investing in you in the long term in your potential.
We've seen it happen, though. They did it with Tua. When Tua got to the Miami Dolphins, every time he made a mistake,
and what happened
they would pull him and start Fitzpatrick in his place.
And what happened,
it messed up his confidence.
And what happened? The whole offensive staff was fired. And then what happened? Why do you think this head coach was gone? There was other things happening, but it came down to Tua.
Yes.
You had the owner for the Miami Dolphins that wanted Tua, and the head coach that didn't, Brian Flores. Gone, out of there. But you all right. It happened with Zach as well for a little bit. Zach was pulled.
In some retrospect, it happened with Trey Lance.
But you don't want, no, it didn't happen with Trey.
Trey Lance, I'm sorry, he got hurt. I'm sorry, I'm thinking Justin Fields. Did it happen with Justin Fields? He didn't start right away.
No, it's not. I'm talking about put him in and pull him out. Like you can't do that. You can't play that game with a face of your franchise. You just can't do that. So I don't think that Cam Newton wants to back up Anthony Richardson. I don't think he wants to back up Bryce Young. I don't think he wants to back up C.J. Stroud. You know who I think Cam has his eyes on? Sam Howell. Come on, Sam. You think I don't even know who is Sam Howell. For real, seriously, can somebody give me an update on who Sam Howell is? Tua. I think he has his eyes on Tua.
Really?
Right? Yeah, and it's and I'm always going to say this, it's a big deal. Head injuries, trauma, all of that, it's a big thing. And I'm sending nothing but good energy to Tua. But, man, that's a big deal to have 3 concussions in 1 year. He's a concussion away from missing a year or maybe retiring. Cam Newton's probably looking at, man, I can go out there and that's a perfect situation. Not a perfect situation. It could be a good situation for
I'm surprised by the names on that list of Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson. Obviously, Lamar's having his issues with the Ravens, and from a chemistry standpoint of being homies,
it's cat.
It'd be dope. But bro, they're the 2.0 version of you. You're never gonna play.
It's cap. He don't want to back them up. Cam is sitting here looking at this list. There's 3 people on this list. It's Cam's that's where I want to go because I know I'll probably play. And Cam, as a competitor, as Superman, is thinking, when I get on the field, I ain't giving the ball back. That's what he's thinking. That's what competitors think. Yep. You don't think Carmelo thought the same thing? Once I get back on the court, I'll come off the bench. But then when I drop 30 on you, you got to play me.
So then he hasn't really come to terms with the possibility of he's no longer a starter. He's just willing to
play
that game to get what he wants, which is to be a starter. So he hasn't really come to terms with the fact that he's probably no longer a starter in the NFL.
Well, think about what he said. Go back to the video. You don't have to play it, Mandeville, but go back to the video. He said what? There ain't 32 better than me. So what does that mean? I am a starter.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if he came out and said, you know what? I'm in a place in my career where, backing up one of these young guys and giving them everything I know is probably the best way I can help any team be successful, win a championship. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to be the best backup that this league has ever seen. That's a different tone. That's a different type of, approach. Now, Cam came out. Cam, look at the outfit. You know what I'm saying? Fly. He's always fly, though. You pull up in Cam on Atlanta, yo, Cam, let's go get some coffee. Meet me over here. Okay, no problem. He coming with his stogie, and he coming fully dressed. Cam, we just getting coffee, bro. No, this is what it is. Cam, let's go work out. Cam got a whole fit on, and then he got all his workout stuff in the bag. So look, Cam, Cam fly, Cam fly. But here's the thing, though, man. Cam, the approach is a little bit different. I'm excited for Cam. You know, he's in this phase where he has to decide, you know, if he's going to play and how he's going to play. If he gets the opportunity, you know, he got a little bit left. I'll say that. If he gets in the right situation, he got a little bit left, and I think it'll be a great story, be fun to watch. We seen it when he went back to Carolina. Remember, he went back to Carolina. Did you not tune in? It was
fun for a moment.
Right. We all was tuning in like, oh, man.
And then it went downhill very quickly.
Was it quick?
It was quick. It was like, It was like 2 weeks of Cam back. When he went into the camera, I'm back. And then it was like 2 weeks later, it was like, this is not what we thought it was going to be.
All right, so really quick, before we move on, does Cam play again?
If it were just on talent, yes.
Come on, Ashley, just stop doing all of that political stuff.
I'm gonna say no, only because I think the NFL is politics, and I think Cam has a reputation, super talented, but not worth in their mind everything that comes with him. And I think that at this stage of the game, him being no longer a starter, teams are less likely to put up with it. When you are a Lamar Jackson. Not that Lamar has the same personality, but if Lamar Jackson had the personality of Cam Newton, a team would deal with it right away because it's the talent.
Right.
And that's why when Cam was in Carolina and when he was, in his prime, you were willing to deal with all the extra things that came around it that some people, I personally don't mind it, that some people minded. Right. But now that you're older and you're no longer that guy, why should I deal with the fact that not only are you no longer that guy, but I still got to deal with all of that?
Right.
I think that's going to be the wall that he's going to hit with the NFL.
Yeah.
Because it's not a talent thing.
Right. And Corey, this is what we have to understand, right? Like, there's some players, and it's not all players. Some players can transition into that backup role. Some players can transition into the guy that was getting the bulk of the work or the load and and then going into I got to say it. I gotta say
I wasn't even thinking that.
Some players can make that transition into not being the guy or the girl, right? And so some general managers and head coaches and owners look at superstars. Superstars, you're either a superstar or you don't play, right? I think there's going to be a situation out there that a coach has a real conversation with Cam and say, Cam, we're going to do this, but you're a backup, right? And if you get your opportunity, I'm going to have the perfect package for you. And whatever coach does that is a smart coach, because we've seen it year in and year out. A team is riding high, a team is playing well, and then all of a sudden your starter go down. And now you go from being the first seed to now you the third seed. Now you go from getting a bye to now you got to play wild card weekend. Now you go from being on a 5-6 game winning streak to now you're on a 3-4-5 game losing streak, right? The most valuable position to me on the roster is the backup quarterback, if you have a good roster. And Cam Newton, would you not want Cam Newton as your backup?
I'll take him in Dallas.
But I don't like that.
I have Cooper Rush. Oh, I can't take him in Dallas.
Any good team, any contender should be looking at Cam as a backup.